Did you find him?
Well, Merry Christmas, Hugh, you and all your listeners, and thanks for having Jason Church on your show yesterday. I encourage all your listeners to go to his website and consider getting behind Jason for his campaign for Congress. It's a special election. It's just a couple months away. The primary will be in early February. But I met Jason through some mutual friends. Got a great story, Hugh, from northern Wisconsin, played college football, and then went right into the Army where he became an Army Ranger. And unfortunately, a bomb blast took his legs in Afghanistan. And while he was at Walter Reed getting put back together over the course of 21 surgeries, he got to know Ron Johnson, his senator, and then went to work for the people of Wisconsin on Ron's staff up in northern Wisconsin. And with Sean Duffy's unexpected resignation, now he's running to serve again. And I've endorsed Jason, and so have my fellow veterans, Dan Crenshaw and Joni Ernst. I think he would make great reinforcements here in Washington. You know, the Taliban took Jason's legs, but they couldn't take his heart. And he's got a heart for service, and I know that he wants to serve the people of Wisconsin loyally and faithfully here in Congress.
Yeah, he was a remarkably poised. Of course, Rangers lead the way. I'm not surprised, but he is running in a primary. He needs to raise some money. You ran up against the establishment as well. Do you think the establishment is with him or against Jason Church?
Well, I hope everyone will get behind him, Hugh, once they learn a little bit more about him. Obviously, he's gotten to know a lot of folks across northern Wisconsin over these last 2 or 3 years as he's been Senator Johnson's Northwest regional director. And I think as more people learn about Jason, as they have a chance to meet him on the campaign trail or they see him on social media or on television, they'll recognize that he's a great, young, conservative outsider, the kind of voice that we need more of in Washington, D.C.
All right, now I want to play for you something that Robert O'Brien said at the Reagan Defense Forum this Sunday, and I'll play most of his speech next hour. Here's National Security Advisor O'Brien.
When President Trump says 350 ship Navy, he means a 350 ship Navy, and not decades from now.
What's that mean, Tom Cotton?
That's a good message that Ambassador O'Brien sent over the weekend, and I suspect the new Secretary of the Navy, whoever that may be, will send a similar message to the Navy that we need to get cracking, that we need to fulfill Donald Trump's promise for a 350-ship Navy. Obviously, Hugh, our new naval ships have the most cutting-edge technology. They are the most advanced ships in the world, but no matter how advanced a ship is, it cannot be in both the Mediterranean and the South China Sea at the same time.
All right, now let's turn to John Durham, the U.S. Attorney yesterday, and Jack Goldsmith is coming up right next, former Assistant Attorney General. We'll talk at the end of that. We're mostly talking about The Irishman, the movie by Martin Scorsese, in his book In Hoffa's Shadow, but we'll talk about Durham. Durham is U.S. Attorney, and he is not a political figure, is he?
No, Hugh, he's not. I have great respect for John Durham's work. He's been a 35-year career prosecutor in Connecticut. Different administrations have pointed him to investigate internal controversies in the government, like the Whitey Bulger controversy in the Boston FBI office or the CIA case controversy at the end of George W. Bush's administration. I think it's important to note this, though, Hugh, when John Durham faces criticism today from some on the left for saying yesterday that he cannot agree with Inspector General Horowitz's report that the FBI investigation of Trump's campaign was properly predicated. You only can become a U.S. attorney if your two home state senators support you. That's a bit of inside baseball, Hugh, but it's important to know is that home state senators have an absolute veto over the U.S. attorney in their state. Connecticut senators are Chris Murphy and Dick Blumenthal, two of the most anti-Trump voices in the Senate. That means that they signed off on Donald Trump's decision to appoint John Durham, a career prosecutor, as U.S. attorney. In fact, I went back and looked at our vote, which was unanimous, Hugh, and their statement. Here's what Senators Blumenthal and Murphy said. John Durham is a fierce, fair prosecutor. As a career prosecutor, John has dedicated his life to public service and the pursuit of justice. He knows how to try tough cases, having taken on organized crime and government corruption. He will be an outstanding U.S. attorney.
Well, that is useful news for everyone. They ought to read that. They ought to listen to Jack Goldsmith coming up. I'll ask him at the end of that. Tom Cotton, always a pleasure. I will be on the Hill today. Maybe I will see you. I'm wearing my Navy tie, by the way, because it is Army-Navy week. Go Navy, beat Army.